Hello, it's been a while. Welcome to a new year, new rotations, and the year that I finally graduated from medical school. I moved to a new place out of Jersey into New York. I have 3 months of rotations left. I have to do OMM, family medicine just to complete some weeks, another IM rotation also just to complete my graduation weeks. So I'm currently on osteopathic medicine. I had my first day yesterday. I was very lucky to find the doctor that I did because she runs her own personal clinic, and I had to find this place by basically cold calling, and she was very gracious to take me. So I had my first day. I learned a lot from her yesterday. I did a treatment on her because we didn't have any patients, so I kind of ran through what osteopathy, what manipulative medicine I know, and she gave me some pointers. So hopefully there's a lot to learn and for me to brush up on that. Currently, I'm just setting everything up. I have to connect my PC. I have to restructure everything. So there's a lot of movement involved. I'm also working on a couple of brand deals. I was also lucky enough that this year started off with a couple of fun brands reaching out to work together and a brand that I reached out to. And so I've been filming a lot and kind of creating content in that way, which has been a lot of fun. So all in all, this year has been off to a pretty busy start, which is exactly how I like it, so I'm not complaining. But I hope you guys are doing well, and welcome to another vlog. The thing that I'm currently filming is this gaming chair, which is incredible and so comfortable, and it reclines all the way back to where you can take a nap on it. So it's not even just a gaming chair, because I don't game as much as I like do research and do like emails and admin stuff on my computer, so it's really nice for someone like me who's a medical student. But so I'm setting everything up, and I have to take some pictures and some videos, so let's start it. This was the setup, and I think I got the footage that I needed. So now we're going to reposition everything, connect my computer to internet, and edit those clips and see what we got. I talked about this a little bit on TikTok. I feel like I don't have a big creative bone in my body. I'm not like from a family of artists or musicians. There's not really a lot of that type of energy, I guess, in my family, and so I feel like I'm very challenged in an artistic way, contrary to like social media presence and making videos and editing and all that stuff. It's all very new, pretty difficult for me. I had a big learning curve to overcome, so still I find this to be very difficult, and I'm stepping out of my comfort zone again, because I think this is the biggest project I've had working with this gaming chair, this desk chair company. And so it's a lot of fun because I'm not only making a video, but I'm also taking a lot of lifestyle pictures, and then I'm editing the video in a very specific way of how they asked. So it's fun to do something creative and new and step out of my comfort zone that way. So I hope that I can make it look as good as they need it to be and up to their standards. That's really all I can hope for when brands choose to collaborate with me. I got a new SD card, so I'm gonna see if my camera can now film in 4K, and you guys let me know if the quality is better. Okay, this is with the new SD card, so let me know if it's in 4K now. I'm finishing up a couple of administrative things that I had to do, a bunch of emails, and finally got through yesterday, things that I've been catching up on since break. And today I have off because I'm going to drive to Philly for John's engagement over this weekend, which is crazy. It's like people you meet in med school and you watch their relationships flourish, and now they're getting engaged and married, and it's so sweet. And so we're all coming down for that. Right now I'm going to do some research so I can get that out of the way as well. So just a lot of computer stuff before I leave. I'm using open paper to analyze the 4 studies that I uploaded. They're in here, and then I'm going to pose my research question here and do some data extraction. Okay, so what I did is I asked for a table with the following columns, and really quickly it analyzed all 4 studies and extracted the data that I asked for me. Super helpful, especially if you're handling a lot of research papers, more than 4, then it becomes so quick to be able to analyze them all together in one place like this. I've been using it for research lately, and I find it super helpful. Car time is my favorite time to work on essays. I've mentioned this before. I literally just turn on the microphone function, read whatever the prompt to my essay was, and then I just speak because I feel like it's so easy and freeing to just speak in a car. I could say whatever, and then at the end of my journey, when I get home and I have these long paragraphs of ideas, all I have left to do is just edit it, you know, make it suitable for it to answer the prompt. But the scholarships that I'm applying for, or the essays that I'm writing, are for a couple of scholarships that I'm applying for. I'm trying to go to a couple more research conferences this year if time allows, and they have registration scholarships that'll pay for your registration and travel stipends. And so I figured, why not be one of those people that applies and tries to get it, especially if my research gets accepted. So I have a long commute, and that's what I'm working on. I realize I haven't been showing a lot of my doctor's OM rotation, but it's at her house, like at her personal house. This is where she runs her clinic from. She also just had surgery, which she's recovering from, and one of the reasons that I'm there to help out. And so I don't really feel comfortable filming in there, but I promise I am going to work every day. And because she's still recovering from surgery, my days are pretty short because she gets a lot of sleep in the morning, and so I usually don't have to get there until noon. And so I get to do a little bit of work in the morning before I head in, and then I leave at like the regular time of 5 p.m., sometimes 6 p.m. Honestly, an OM rotation is so hard to find. I had to cold call to find this, and was literally pretty much just like calling or email any DO that I found through like a Google Maps search. And so I'm very lucky that she took me in, but it is so hard to find osteopathic rotations that are not close to where your school is. This is why we can't have nice things. What are you doing? I finally finished working on my Andecy collaboration. I put the video together, edited it yesterday, and then submitted it for approval, and this morning got the email that it was approved, so now it can be posted. This video took me a really long time to put together. I really tried my hardest to make everything congruent and sound good and say everything that I wanted to. I felt very honored that I pitched the brand and that they accepted my collaboration, so I really tried my hardest to make this a really good video. So I'm really happy that it went through, and so I'm finalizing the last things today, and then it's gonna go live. Last interview of the season. I'm so excited. This one's very spaced out. I get about almost an hour in between every interview session, and there's 5 interview sessions total. I'm also not at the usual place. I'm not at my old apartment where everything was set up the way I set it up, so this is what I'm working with right now. I'm in the kitchen, so this is my background: a sack of potatoes and boxes of ramen. My computer's resting on a bowl of oranges, and my ring light is over there. Interview days are very stressful. Even though this is my last one of a bunch and I've had so much practice, it's still stressful, and it feels like it takes up a lot of the day because I almost like don't want to rewire my brain and work on other things in between. I kind of want to just like sit here and stay focused on the interview and on the things that I'm gonna say and the points that I want to bring up. Kind of takes away like a good chunk of your day because of it. But I'm excited for this to be the last one, and I can't wait to be done. I'm only going into work twice this week, today and then tomorrow, and I can totally see how easy it is to fall into the lull of 4th year. Granted, I'm just having a slower, easier rotation, mostly due to my preceptor and how many patients she sees. I do really miss working and being busy and being at the hospital, but this is a nice break, and I'm trying to capitalize on the fact that I do have a lot of free time during the day. So some of the things that I try to do is I have my surgical handbook. I try to read a little bit of that every single day. It also comes with like associated flashcards that I found on Anki because live, love, life, Anki. So every now and then I try to read a couple of pages and do some Anki cards. Nothing crazy. I'm not like uber studying every single day, but just to keep my brain sharp and still into medicine. The other thing I've been doing is I've been trying to push off some research ideas that I've had. This is like the best time to do it, 4th year, when you can really sit and work for long periods of time on one research project or another. Currently, I'm like at grad grassroots, just trying to think of like questions and how to put studies together. But at least, if anything, this is the time to brainstorm, and this is the time to gain experience in kind of pushing off projects like this on your own, because God knows there's not going to be time like this in residency. Other things I'm doing is just kind of preparing for the idea of residency. I've been looking at loans, I've been looking at PSLF, and kind of like the paperwork and the different things it takes to kind of take care of your loan, and then all the financial things behind it. I've also looked into physician loans. I've looked a little bit at housing prices or apartment prices in some places that I think I might end up, just to get an idea of what's feasible and what's not. I'm also trying to just get a lot of little things done that I've been like working on for a while. I don't know, a couple of like home projects and whatnot, because I know there's not going to be time later. So as much of these things as I can finish now, the better, to start with a clean slate for when residency gets crazy. And obviously a lot of fun things. I've been playing a ton of video games. I got right back into Apex, like that addiction never ended, and then planning my graduation trip and traveling and my friends and tons of weddings, so a lot of fun things as well. But that is about the gist of it.